Hey guys, it's Adam. It's Monday, so here is your minister's moment. I read a really kind of upsetting article this morning. I shared it on Facebook if you want to check it out, about a school in Pennsylvania, a high school, who had a mom that sent out a survey to a lot of the graduating seniors. She has twins that are graduating, and just see how they're doing. What have they thought about the last year? How has the pandemic been treating them? And the answers that she got back were not good. The vast majority that responded to her survey said that they felt, feelings of isolation, mental issues developed. They had in Pennsylvania, they've been in lockdown for so long that kids have done nothing but learn remotely from home on Zoom and everything. And teachers there are even commenting about how all they ever see is blank screens with muted microphones, and there's just no connection anymore. And these kids are feeling it. We are social beings, guys. We are created by God to be around one another, to feed and feed off of each other, to encourage each other. We need other people in our lives. Even the introverts right now during the pandemic are like, I miss people. I mean, I miss, staring at and judging and looking down upon people, but I still miss people. We all need each other for different reasons. And this pandemic has isolated so many of us, and our young people especially have really been hurting from it, our kids. And it's tough. It's rough right now, okay? Obviously, it's been rough on a lot of people. It's been rough on everybody for a lot of different reasons. It reminds me of a post that I saw a friend share here this week, talking about, caterpillars and butterflies. That, people think that a caterpillar just crawls into a cocoon, slaps on a pair of wings, and out comes this beautiful butterfly. And it's not quite that easy. It's a nasty, painful process for that caterpillar inside that cocoon. And so the post said that at the end, if you're kind of a mess wrapped up in a blanket right now, hang on, keep going. It'll get better. It reminds me of actually a scene from one of my favorite TV shows, Lost, if any of you have seen that. A lot of you haven't. The second I said Lost, some of you are like, oh, I can't stand that show. Some of you are like, oh, that's my favorite show. Anyway, whatever you think about it, anybody that has ever seen the TV show Lost remembers this scene with John Locke and Charlie and the moth cocoon. You can look it up on YouTube if you've ever seen it before, just Lost cocoon scene. And anyway, in this scene, Charlie is a young man who's struggling with a heroin addiction. John Locke is kind of this man's man type of guy. They're lost on this deserted island in the middle of nowhere, and Locke has become kind of the hunter, the provider for everybody. He goes out, he kills animals and cleans them, and he has all these ideas about shelters. He's a survivalist, and people look up to him, and Charlie does too. Well, John Locke finds out that Charlie is a heroin addict, and on the island, unfortunately, there was an old crashed plane where Charlie found some heroin that was stashed on board, starts taking it. John takes it from Charlie, and Charlie finds out about it, so he goes to Locke. He's like, I want my drugs. And John takes him over to a cocoon, and he says, you see this little cocoon? In the top, there's a hole. It's a breathing hole for the moth that's inside, that's becoming, the caterpillar is becoming a moth. And he says that, this little hole right here is a breathing hole. This moth is about to come out of its cocoon. And he says, now I can take my knife and I can open that hole a little bit and help this moth come out of the cocoon. But in doing so, I would weaken the moth so much that it would be too weak to survive. It's the struggle of coming out of the cocoon that makes the moth strong and its wings able to fly. And so he tells Charlie, I'll give you 3 times. You ask me for your drugs. On the 3rd time, I'll give them to you. But you have to ask me. And so the TV show progresses, and Charlie struggles and finally, approaches Locke for the 3rd time and says, I want my drugs. And John Locke gives them to them, and Charlie takes them, throws them in the fire, and gives them up. He had struggled through feelings of withdrawals, feelings of humility, and embarrassment of having to ask for something that he admittedly, ruined his life so much. And In that struggle, Charlie became strong. In this pandemic struggle, we can become strong. It kind of reminds me of James chapter 1. It says, "Dear brothers and sisters, when troubles of any kind come your way, consider it an opportunity for great joy, hard as that may be to see. For you know that when your faith is tested, your endurance has the chance to grow. So let it grow. For when your endurance is fully developed, you will be perfect and complete, needing nothing." This time's been hard. Hang in there. Check on each other. If you're having a hard time, somebody else is too. Check in on them. Call the church office, message somebody, seek out help, seek out somebody to help, and together we can get through this. Together we can struggle. Together we can get stronger, and together we can come out on the other side of this stronger than any of us ever really thought. Hang in there, guys. Love you. See you next time.